I did a video with my grandma, and basically I interviewed her while she was cooking pork adobo. So I've always been interested in my family's history, how we get to where we are today, because it doesn't just happen. There are a lot of details throughout this video, and it was an hour and 30 minutes. So unfortunately I had to cut it down to 5. Go follow my socials while you're at it, since you're here, since you're watching. Anyways, enjoy the video.
So we usually have a big roast of pork here. It's actually a national dish because adobo.
Oh yeah, of course. The chicken is the chicken version is obviously the most known one.
So the chicken you can actually cook anything the adobo way. Like I even saw.
What does adobo mean? I actually don't know that.
It's a Spanish name. It's a Spanish name of actually it's a Spanish recipe, and it's, remember, the Philippines was colonized by the Spaniards. When Magellan landed in the Philippines from Spain.
Yeah.
He landed in Mactan, in Leyte, I think Leyte, or Cebu.
Didn't my mom says Grandpa Tony had an uncle or something that was married
yeah. During that time, they had to elect another mayor, right? And that's when your Grandpa Tony's lolo, who was the current mayor, was also killed by the Japanese, because that was in the later part already, like 1940s. Because your Grandpa Tony he remembers seeing the Japanese.
Grandpa Tony was 5 years old when the Japanese broke in the house, threw his Lolo down the cement stairs, and tied him to an electric post. They stabbed him and then they tortured him afterwards. So then they grabbed a hammock, put his body in there, and they carried it around the whole town. And supposedly it was to show dominance. And his body was never found after that.
From Grandma said was that at that time, they were only paid 25 cents a day. So after they got married, and then Grandma was already finished as a teacher, he told Grandpa after high school to go ahead also and get his teaching degree. But I told Grandma, I said, no, I don't want to be a teacher, I want to go to college and pursue pursue nursing, which was a 5-year course. But when I was worried, all along when I was taking the test, I was also thinking that I really don't want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be a nurse. So while I was doing my exam, my mind was working. I could not concentrate in the test because I said, well, if I go through this exam, I really will have to enroll already, if I pass the exam. So you know what I did? I finished only half of my test.
Oh. On purpose.
Yeah, on purpose. Because I said, what can I do? I said, oh, I think I'll just, in my mind I said, if I definitely pass the exam, then I definitely will have more chances that I will really enroll, So I only finished half of the exam, and of course, when the results came, I was not qualified to enroll.
So my grandma really wanted to be a nurse, and she failed the test on purpose, only completing half of the test. My grandma and 5 of her friends enrolled in nursing, and during her 3rd year of school, she was the only one who got accepted. Supposedly nurses were needed in Canada and California, but she hated the cold. She also knew people in San Francisco, so she would stay with them for a bit until she was financially stable.
It's a good thing that I had her aunt's address where she was staying in San Francisco. So when I arrived at the airport, nobody was there to meet me, but I said, oh, I have the address of her aunt, So I just hopped on a yellow cab, and I said, where are you going, ma'am? The driver. I said, oh, can you bring me to this address? And you know how much I paid for the taxi from the San Francisco airport? And we passed by Daly City. When I got out of the taxi, says, how much do I owe you? Says, $10, ma'am. So it cost me $10 taxi from the airport over to downtown San Francisco at 8th Street. I met your Grandpa Tony here also.
Yeah.
In 70. And then we got married in 71. And your Auntie Caroline was born in 72. And your mom in 73. So can you imagine, like, every year, you know,
Busy.
it's like one step up, one step up.
When my grandpa and grandma met, my grandpa supposedly wanted to get married, but my grandma was broke because she was sending money to her 5 siblings for college. But my grandpa said she could do whatever she wants with their money. So they ended up moving to a 1-bedroom apartment, and my grandpa ended up buying a Mustang. After they got married, my Auntie Caroline was born, and they ended up buying a house. And not just an ordinary house, but a big one, so her siblings and her parents could come over and they could all stay in one giant house. After my mom was born, my grandma ended up getting a car and her license because she realized, like, oh, I need to start.
The master bedroom was for us. One of the bedrooms is for great grandpa and grandma, and the 2 extra rooms is the boys' room and the girls' room.
You know, my grandma is a very successful person. I'm glad she picked California. I'm glad she decided to bring the whole family here. Unfortunately, my grandpa did pass away before I was born, so I never got to meet him, but she owns 3 houses and a whole farm in Stockton that's worth $1 million. And I'm just thinking, like, my grandma came here with nothing. After all that hard work of getting what she wanted and working hard for it, she made it happen. Make sure you subscribe. Once again, feel free to follow me. If you know me in real life, I will follow back. I guess that's it. I'll see you.